Hey guys, so my name is Amber and I am currently 38 weeks pregnant, which is so crazy. I can't believe it's a couple weeks away at most, really. This is my bump. We don't know the gender. Getting really excited to learn and just meet the baby. And it goes by so fast. It's true when they say it goes by really fast. But I was just thinking today, I haven't taken the time to get on here and talk a little bit about my pregnancy, just because it's been kind of a unique one. We've been through some things that not everyone has to face during their pregnancies, and I think I can really help people by talking a little bit about my story. So here it goes. So I am not only 38 weeks pregnant, I am also currently living with a diagnosis of relapse remitting multiple sclerosis. And so I was diagnosed with MS when I was 25, and I got pregnant when I was 28. So there isn't a whole lot of time in between those two events. So I've had a bit of a crazy roller coaster ride the past couple of years. I was diagnosed with MS in 2017, and I got pregnant in December of 2018. So, yeah, it was fast. So last year, for about 6 or 7 months, I went through probably maybe one of the worst flare-ups I'll ever have. I was just reacting really badly to medication. I think I was taking a medication called Copaxone, and I believe it may have caused me I think it may have caused my symptoms to worsen a little bit. I don't know, doctors say I can't do that, but the second I stopped those injections, I started to feel better. So, in September 2018, I started a new medication and quit Copaxone, and this medication was called Tysabri, so it's monthly infusions, and it's honestly been the most amazing treatment for me. It's given me back my life. I was in a really bad dark hole for a while. During my flare-up, I was suffering with depression, obviously, spasticity, very painful numbness in my extremities, basically from my neck down. There were some weird things that went on with my vision, a little bit of drop foot. It was just spiraling, and I was losing control, and it was the most difficult time of my life for sure. But the moment I quit those injections and started up my infusions, I started to feel better, and I started to feel like myself again, which was amazing because it's really hard when you lose yourself, especially at such a young age. But we started to feel better, and I went into remission, and so it was amazing. I love it. I have had no bad side effects to Tysabri. I just go in once a month and out, and then I'm good to go. I love it. The IVs are not that bad. I would way rather it than the daily injections. It's been great. So when I started to feel better, I started to get a little bit of baby fever because I got married about a year ago now, but we wanted to start a family. We've been together for a long time, and my friends were starting to have kids, and I don't know, I just got baby fever. So I had heard, just being that I just came out of a really bad relapse, I wanted to be careful. So I had heard that some women were actually staying on Tysabri while they were pregnant. I thought, oh my gosh, jackpot. So I approached my neurologist about it, and she surprisingly was on board. She had heard some new research about how it was safe for women to be pregnant on Tysabri and conceive. And being that I just had such a bad flare-up, she was suggesting that I stay on my medication throughout the entire 9 months of my pregnancy. I have lots and lots of lesions. Some are active. I don't know if they still are. I can't wait to find out if they're not. That'll be in the next month or so. I'll go in for an MRI. But my disease was just progressing really quickly, and she just didn't feel comfortable with me stopping Tysabri to get pregnant. And so her and myself and my husband, we made the decision to try and get pregnant and to stay on Tysabri. I also knew that going into this, our time was very limited, where this was a safe thing to do. Unfortunately, I am positive for the JC virus. This is just a virus that honestly probably 50% of the population contract, but it doesn't affect us at all until we start taking the Tysabri medication. If you're positive for it, you have a risk of something called PML, where basically it's a brain infection and people have died from it. So with Tysabri, you have about a 2-year mark where it's safe to be on it if you are positive. And so she kind of said, like, let's go for it. So we went for it, and I get emotional. We actually got pregnant on our first try, which just makes me really emotional because we've been through like so much. Me and my husband have gone through a lot of stuff that people don't even imagine in their lifetime. And so just the fact that we didn't have any fertility issues, there was no stress there, was just amazing. So, yeah, I got pregnant right away. So we kept with the infusions. I've never stopped the infusions. So I am now 9 months in my 9th month of pregnancy, and I've had an infusion every single month. And baby is completely healthy, and he's fine. He or she is fine. Growing right on track. The size is good. There's no abnormalities. In the beginning of our pregnancy, we had to have ultrasounds done in the big city under some specialists. And so in total, I've had 6 ultrasounds. Typically, people only have around 3, maybe 4. But that's okay. We've just gotten to see our baby more than others. They were just really cautious with me, which is good. I am considered a high-risk pregnancy, and I do have a high-risk OBGYN. She's amazing. I love her. I go in for blood work a lot because of the Tysabri. But honestly, I feel great. One super cool thing about pregnancy and MS is that it actually usually puts you into remission. A lot of women feel fantastic when they're pregnant. It's the postpartum that's a little bit scary, but I've been feeling awesome, and I don't know if that's because of the pregnancy or the Tysabri. It could be both. I don't know. I'm excited to find out postpartum if my body handles all of the lack of sleep and hormone changes. If it handles it well, I have a feeling that the drug is really working, and like I mentioned earlier, I can't wait to get those MRI results back. I've never in my life been excited for an MRI. Every single MRI I've ever had are terrible. I always have new active lesions, and so for the first time, I'm feeling optimistic about an MRI. So we're gonna see what happens. One thing too that I have decided to do, which was a really difficult decision, was to breastfeed on this medication. I actually found that it was way easier to find women who have breastfed on this medication versus women who have been pregnant on it. I think physicians recommend breastfeeding more often than they do pregnancy. Which is really interesting because my neurologist was okay with me being pregnant on it, but she didn't like the idea of me breastfeeding on it. Why? I'm not really sure. I feel like maybe she's just trying to protect herself, which is fine. That's her job. But she encouraged us to formula feed. And just as a woman, that was really hard to hear because I feel like That's just something I'm supposed to do. That's just, my body was made to breastfeed, and you're telling me that I am not allowed to. So that was kind of hard for me. So I took that as a grain of salt, and I did my research. I talked to many lactation consultants. I talked to lots of specialists who all told me that I am completely fine to breastfeed on Tysabri. Something about the molecule not being able to get into the breast milk, it's just too large. Another thing too is I get my Tysabri via IV once a month. If I took it orally, my digestive system would just break it down and it wouldn't be effective. So I have been told that the chances of it getting into my breast milk are extremely, extremely low. And even if it does, the baby will just digest it and there's no harm done. So I've also been told that breastfeeding can decrease the chances of our baby getting MS, because I know they say it's not a genetic illness, but there is some predisposition there. And I wasn't really breastfed as a child, so I want to give my baby, those antibodies, and give it the best chance it can to not have this debilitating, crazy illness that his mom has, or her. So we are moving forward with the breastfeeding, which is great. I'm very excited. Hopefully it goes well. Obviously anything can happen. Lots of women plan to breastfeed and then they end up formula feeding. Their body just can't produce. So that's fine as long as I just get to try. So it's been good. What else? I don't know. It's just been a crazy, crazy roller coaster ride. One thing that is kind of scary is right now baby is completely healthy, but one thing that we don't know is that it can be born with low platelets. And so if that's the case, basically it'll be anemic and requires maybe some treatment. The chances of that happening, I think, are quite low. So we're going to see. Baby's immune system will also be a little bit compromised, just because my immune system is compromised. It'll take about 6 months to regain the ability to fight anything, really. So all that means is just no live vaccines for 6 months, and just kind of be cautious of any germs and stuff like that. All babies' immune systems are kind of compromised in the beginning, so that made me feel a little bit better. But just that was also something that was kind of hard to deal with, is just knowing that I am putting my baby through that. But I've learned that you can't have a healthy baby without a healthy mom. So it was a sacrifice we made. And overall, I'm kind of happy, very happy, with that decision. Hopefully everything goes good and I stay in remission and I am the healthiest mom and the strongest mom for this little one, and MS will not take that away from me. And that is my message for anyone that's listening. Don't let someone tell you that you can't do something. And if you really, really want something in your soul, there's ways to make that happen. Don't ever doubt yourself. You can have your dream. It's just maybe there's an extra speed bump on the way, and just keep fighting for what you want, because it's awesome when you get it. So 2 weeks, I'm gonna be a mom. Hopefully I'm not overdue. I just can't wait to raise this little human to be the best person it can be. So thank you all for listening. Bye.